want to turn my microphone on. Yup. Here. Welcome in, y'all. Welcome in. Okay, so why is this a black screen? It's not. Okay, I need to refresh. Okay. All right, y'all. Welcome in. Welcome in. OG Isaac. Okay, chat. We are going to be interviewing Mr. Angel Munez, the CEO of Beam and Math Velocity. Um, he will get into more about who he is and what those platforms are. Um, have the hat on right here. Um, it's not until 2 p.m., so we do have a little bit of time here. Let me just junk out your way. Um, yes, we will be with Intoxicated DJ, Angel Munez, and the wifey. Um, you want me to start the TikTok stream too right now? Yeah. That'd probably be good. Get some people in here up and running. Hey, just have them send me an invite. Okay, will that be the easiest? I know you will. Okay, so we're gonna go live on the TikToks. And then we'll take that stream key. And we will put it right in there. Go hit save. Crucify. Hello, hello. Good morning, good morning. I think we're streaming. Are we streaming? Oh, hold on, not yet. I like cake. Welcome in, welcome in. Yes, there we go, there we go, there we go. Okay. So we are now live on the TikToks. Okay. So everything should be good to go. We should be moving and grooving. We are just waiting. Gives you guys some time to get your questions in if you have any. I do have a list of questions here that we are going to be asking. Yeah. Kerwin, how we doing? I'm hoping that everything will pop up. You can say something on the TikTok stream for me. All right, yeah, let's get it, boys. We excited. We do have about 15 minutes, so we're just gonna be chilling and chatting until it's time for the interview. Make sure I am live. Sure are. We sure are. Yep. Lady Granny, how we doing it, baby? How we doing? Ink. Yo, anime freak with the rose, baby. Heckle, how we doing? Oh no, it's not coming on the game stream. What? Hmm? Coming through twice? You mean?
Well, you're muted. You're
Hmm?
talk.
Hello? Yeah, it'll be fine. No, the chat's not coming through. Can you? That's so loud. Yeah, it's not even popping up on the beam side that it's on beam. Yeah, like it's not popping up in my univiewers. I'm talking. Can you hear me? No, I cannot hear you. Pink. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. The Killer Son, what it do? James, welcome in, welcome in. James with the likes on the live. In about 15-ish minutes, we will be getting started with the interview. T, welcome in, welcome in. Do do do. Um, can you hear me or see me? No, you are a black screen and your microphone is muted. None of the above, sir. There you go. I hear something now. See, I appreciate the likes on the live. Let's get it, baby. I might not get as many likes from me on this one. I'm listening while I clean. You all good? I appreciate you being here, baby. Do, 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 do. Okay, so I don't know what happened. Can you hear me? I don't know what happened to you neither, big dog. You just a black screen right now. The wifey says make sure you're on the right camera on Beacon Max. Big Cat Gaming, what it do? Deranged Illusion, how are you? Volva Ravina, welcome in. I appreciate you. We are doing something a little different. We are doing a chat and an interview category. We're interviewing the CEO of Beam Stream today. So if you guys have any questions or anything like that, feel free to ask. We will get them answered to the best of our ability. I'm seeing myself but don't hear you or see you on the meeting. You can hear me or no? Ink. I'm talking in the meeting now. Ink's having some problems. You're gonna have to help him, wifey. Hold on, either.
Are you in Discord?
No, I left. Do. I don't hear you on the meeting. Go join the Discord. Wifey's gonna see if she can help you. Sad boy live, what it do, baby? Welcome in, welcome in. We got Abby in the house. I don't know what to tell you. Go to Discord, wifey might try to help you. Sad boy live with the likes on the live. Let's get it. Appreciate you, baby. He's got a lot of them, it seems. Smoking peace. I see you, baby. How are you? Having no issue. Yo, Doc, thank you for that. Hype me, baby. Appreciate it. And the popular vote. Let's get it with the likes and the live. Appreciate the love, baby. We are getting ready to do an interview with the Mr. CEO himself. Hey, he's coming in with the "You're awesome. Let's get it." We got about 8 minutes or so. We still got like a little 10 minutes until we get started. Jesus,
Sorry.
not cool, bro. What up, tacos? What are you doing? I was working fine. Damn, don't scare me like that. What up, tacos? Yeah. I can hear you, Dingleberry. I hear what you're saying. What's up, everyone? I'm hoping we have a good interview here. We should. We got some good questions. If you guys have some questions, go ahead, drop them in the chat. Let us know. We will make sure they get answered today. We'll see. We'll see. It should be a good one. Ace, thank you for the likes and the live. Let's get it. Somo, how we doing? Little mic power wouldn't hurt. You heard me, wifey? They said I'm a little low. I think so. I will be alright. I'm a loud talker. Okay, don't knock me one more
I'm
time.
not gonna mess with that. Are you still low?
What is Ink over here laughing about? About to pop a stitch type shit. Ink, unmute yourself on the call. Come on now. Give these people something to talk about. Give these people something to listen to. I don't want to listen to my ugly mug. Wow. Wow. Bum. Oh, why not? It's because I got it.
Is he talking right now?
He is talking right now. Stop talking me. Oh, no. Yeah, I need desktop.
Tell him to say
Yeah, say something now, big dog. Oh. What is that? Turn that off. Oh my god, what was that? Like a loud piercing
I
noise.
got it.
Jeez Louise. Say something, Ink.
Testing 1, 2, 3. Mic check, mic check.
Okay, we're good. We're good. What hot mess Angel trying to get this technology to work?
Wait, you can hear Angel?
No, he joined my chat.
He's not coming through.
Oh, thank God. Okay, I was like, oh no.
You mean he's not coming through?
Hmm?
Turn his
Fully
ass
come
up.
through. Turn me up. Turn me. I don't. Next up,
Oh, it's robot.
robotic. Oh no, that's me. Maybe I got too many things going on.
No, it gets all. Year 1982. I'm trying to hook up my speakers. Almost the same distortion sound. Listen, if you know anything about me, I know nothing about technology. Okay, right here, Wi-Fi tech support. What's going on here?
For the whole crew.
Okay, is it working? Goodness gracious.
You know?
Ink testing. Oh, he muted himself.
Yeah. I'm here. I hear you.
You hear him?
Test. 1, 2, 3. We love anime free.
She said we can hear. We'll type in the beam chat.
You know what I'm saying? Shit.
Oh my god.
Wait, why do I need to send link? It's got to be Angel that sends you the link, right?
You said, babe?
'Cause I got the same link as a snippet. And God is in the house. Hey, you're streamer. Hey, I am. Thank you. I wanted to be like you when I grow
Okay,
up.
he sounds good.
Mess. You're flipping inspiration to the world. I freaking heart you, Iron. I hope you're well. Much love. You know you have the prettiest smile. I love your freaking smile, Snippin. You always cheer me up. Damn it! I'm pretty sure I just bled a little bit. Thank you for that. You know you're not supposed to be making me laugh. Oh, oh, that hurt. Oh, that hurt.
Stop doing what you're doing.
Stop doing what I'm. What am I doing?
With your mouth.
If we're on everywhere.
Yes.
Hello.
You gonna give me banana?
Afternoon. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing excellent. How are
My
you?
wife
Intoxicated DJ.
My wife said you did not send her an invite and she's upset, Angel.
Yeah, I didn't. I'm sorry. Does she want one?
She did. She wanted to speak with you.
She wants to speak with me. All right.
She's all
But
right.
I did you send me her email though? I
I did not because I only got the only one I got was Snippet and the Snippet and
He
Hammer.
said he don't have your email.
She said
just
everything
send it.
on that
Just
email.
send it to me. Mm,
Wait,
oh,
she's got her email.
do you know what? Theodore may be in chat. I'm not aware of the chat, but you can.
To
You,
username at Gmail.
oh,
Anime
okay.
Freak 92.
Hold on one second. Let me.
Take your
Anime
time. Take
freak.
your time.
You guys putting me under pressure here. Look at
Right
this.
already.
Off
Before
the
you
bat,
start
off
shipping,
the
I
you
bat.
want to make
love
sure
it.
they be able to get a cool cat like that because this looks a little old school right
I was
now.
just gonna thank you for wearing that hat. Anime with two E's at the end. Freak. Um.
There's not two E's at the end. Two E's in freak.
Oh, two E's and freak. Okay. Anime freak.
Freek.
EEK. No way. Oh, that's not. Wow. Okay. And I know it's at gmail.com. Give me hints here.
Huh?
I know that it's at gmail.com, but give me hints again. Is it her user her handle? Just the
Yeah,
first.
so Anime Freak 92 at Gmail.
Okay. Let's see if it works. Tell her if.
Did I get it?
See if she ask her if she gets the email. So one of the things about Beacon that's different from any other platform is the fact that every invitation is unique. So no one shares an invite. So I'll explain that later if you guys want me to.
That would be great. Yeah, I did not know that. That's why I figured she manages most of the information and she could get the link from one email. You wouldn't have to send it to two different.
I think we may have to reload for her to show a window. So let me try reloading and see. Yep. Go ahead and hit the button on the right. There she is. See?
We good?
Okay.
Hi. Hi, Anime. Can you hear me? Up, and she switched her camera, and her mic is now on. And can you hear me, Anime? I don't think she can hear me.
Oh, she gave me
Okay.
the finger. She said, "Sir, hold on, sir."
Anyway, well, listen. Before we get started, Snippin and Ink, you both.
Oh my
I
god.
really appreciate you guys inviting me to share some moments with you guys and having a face to face and allow the community to see who we are and behind the scenes, right? There's really a person behind behind the images they see. And for you two also, it's a lot of people don't realize how great our community is and what we're building. So,
Sorry, I didn't fix my hair. I got these flyaways up
All
here.
good.
oh
No,
yeah.
I wasn't prepared.
Okay. Anyway, well, I just wanted to say thank you to both of you. So, and thank you, Anime, for joining also. So this is your show. I am here for you. So you guys tell me what you want me to talk about, and I'll share my thoughts and feelings about it.
I think the
And fix
first
your hair,
question
Anime.
is, who are you? What are you the CEO of? And then explain what Beam is, because a lot of people don't know what Beam Stream is.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Well, first of all, the first thank you is for the early adopters of Beam, you being one of them, Snippet, and you, Ink. You both jumped in quickly. Anime was behind the scenes, making sure everything worked perfectly. And when Anime gave me the seal of approval that it was easy and that she could figure it out very easily, that was the utmost reward for me. So my name is Angel Munoz. It's fine if you pronounce it Munoz or whatever other way. It's really not a problem for me. But the proper pronunciation of my last name is Munoz. and it's my father's family's from Spain, my mother's family is from Puerto Rico, so it's a Spanish last name, so it has a little ñ. It's just that I don't use the tilde, so it confuses people, and then they it kind of stops them from trying to pronounce my last name. So I just eliminated for. So anyway, I've been in technology most of my life. I was, as some people know, I launched the first major website in gaming called the Adrenaline Vault, which is, if you read my resume, it's not there. Then I did the first international events for what became esports. Um, Sold that company after almost 15 years of running it, and then decided that I wanted to do something about a problem that I started noticing back 15 years ago. And it was the fragmentation of communication, the isolation that people go through, the fact that people feel separated from their peers. And I thought technology would be the reverse. As an early adopter of technology, I launched the first website back in 1995, so not that far away from the start of the World Wide Web. And and I thought that it would be a unifying, you know, um, platform. So, and it ended up being, a bit divisive. And then people started to exist in these bubbles. So what I started with is I launched Mass Luminosity Snippin, which is the company you're asking me about. Mass Luminosity, the main principle of Mass Luminosity is to defragment human communication. So if it's fragmented, to defragment it. So we embarked, and now it's been quite a while on a mission to launch technologies that will help in that process. And we started by G Tribe, which you see the logo behind me. That was actually made by my daughter, and she put it there for me. So, and G Tribe is a social media community. It has a little over 6.1 million people in it. Um, and it's about gaming. The G is Gaming Tribe, so it's really, the URL is actually gamingtribe.com, not gtribe.com. And we learned so much about the gaming community, about human interaction, and it's the only social media platform that has a very strict rules on what you can and cannot say and what you can and cannot do on it. Basically, to promote conversation across different differences, without emphasizing the differences between people. So any kind of difference, geographical, national, sexual preference, whatever it may be. Anyway, race tends to be also religion, politics. All that is eliminated from the discourse on G Tribe. And then after that, we ventured, and when I say we, I've had a good partner over the years, which is Theodore Atroshenko, which everybody refers to as Tio in the community. And Theodore and I then decided to take on visual communication. And that's when we came up with Beacon Max. And Beacon Max is its own company too. And so we have Mass Luminosity. G Tribe is a division of Mass Luminosity, so it's not a company of its own. But Beacon Max is a separate company. And
That's what we
Beacon
are
Max,
using right now.
yeah, exactly what we're using right now. If you'll see it on the bottom left corner in my case, by ink, because everybody has a different view. And anyway, and we did that. It took us a long time to develop the technology behind this. This is obviously where we learned about zero latency and refresh rates and bit rates and FPS and all that. And once we completed the project, we realized that we were far from our core competency of gaming. And we said, what if we use some of the technologies and some of the experience that we have acquired to start a live streaming platform? And so Theodore and I went through whatever the platforms are that are out there, and we realized that there was an interesting division between the the platforms and then the services that streamers have to depend on to expand their brand. Let's call it that. And so we went in there and decided, what is so terrible about multi-streaming? Why is it that that's not integrated into a platform? Those are the questions we were asking ourselves. Why is it not easy? Why is multi-streaming so complicated and so complex? And every this you got Restream.io, you got Streamlabs, you have the plugins of OBS plugins, you have all these things that are just so complicated and so confusing. Can it be made simple? That's the questions we asked ourselves. And frankly, we didn't know. We didn't do a very thorough analysis that the era of multi-streaming had arrived. We just were caught by surprise, frankly. So we launched Beam first as a closed beta for like 5-6 months, and then we opened it to the general public on July 24th of 2024. And wow, what an incredible experience it's been for me and for everybody that's part of it. It's an incredible community. I feel close, like I know your audience is going to think that I'm exaggerating, but I feel that all of us are friends now because we've interacted for so long. And I've chatted with Anime and Snippin off camera and find out what their goals are and what their aspirations are. And if Snippin, remember, I told her, I said, there's a platform that you're going to be on. You're going to take off on. It's just one of those things. You just need to find that platform. And I'm happy to say that recently she found out that she's big on TikTok.
I have been enjoying it. Yes.
I mean, it's kind of hard for me to hop into your channel now because your chat is moving so quickly. It doesn't keep pace with my older age, so I need a slow down button. Anyway, but that's what I would say. And I'm the CEO of Mass Luminosity. I'm the CEO of Beacon Max. I'm the president of G Tribe, and I'm also the CEO of Beam. So I really kind of run 4 companies. So
Busy man.
anyway, so sorry for the long response, Snippin, but I
We
wanted
do
to
have
cover it.
a question from chat that says, "How many people started in the Beam team?"
So the Beam team has not grown by much, although I'm happy to announce for the first time before we make it public that Daniel Okendo, who is the person that everybody talks to on Discord, is now officially a member of the Beam team. So he will be in charge of support, and he will create a team around him to make sure that as we grow our community support. I can't say enough things about Daniel. Daniel did it as a volunteer. He took it on. Daniel's been a member of the G Tribe community for a long time, and he also is a big fan of this platform, Beacon Max. So it was a natural process for us to bring him on board. We always have operated with small teams, so I'm not going to count the officers of the company or any other of the positions that don't interact with the public, but we have a group of about 10 people total that are interacting in one way or another with Beam, and that make contributions to Beam. Now those are in different positions, and you may not ever interact with them. For example, recently, as you guys may remember, we announced that the head of marketing for Logitech had actually left Logitech and joined Beam, and his name is Brent Barry. We are fortunate to have him on our team. He is a deep thinker and a long view person, and he brings a fresh view for us on how our growth. How we should focus on our continued growth. That there's very little effort right now, so I think this is a good moment to drop a statistic. So we in a year we have about a little bit, maybe about 110,000 accounts. I'm rounding it up. I don't know exactly what it is, but what's interesting about that is that 90% of those accounts were referred by someone else. So it's not the product of advertising. It's not the product of the giveaways. It's not the, like a lot of people think. It's really people. I know that as because I spend a lot of time talking to the community. I see that as part of my day, and I ask them, "How do you hear about Beam?" And they always say, so and so referred me. So I heard it on so and so stream.
Mm.
So it's a very fortunate position that our community supports us so incredibly to maintain this incredible growth that we've experienced.
And it's beautiful to know, especially because, the one thing as a newer streamer, somebody that is coming in with a fresher pair of eyes, the scary part, like you said, of multi-streaming is starting over again. So hearing somebody, because I was brought on by Snippin, and Snippin said, "Hey, I know you are finding X and X difficult. Check out Beam. Beam it brings in and brought for me the multi-chat, right? And that is my number one issue of multi-streaming is the chats. It's just like I can't even imagine Snippins trying to keep up with all of them. And so having one place to get them all like that, it definitely became a thing that, despite of your feelings on anything else, that in itself, it's such a selling point that for me and the people that I know, that in itself really helped them out to say, okay, let me try it out.
Yeah, and first of all, I have two reactions to that. One of them is that we should explain what it is, and we call it UniChat, and what we do is we have a number of platforms that we have that we capture the chat live instantaneously and bring it into Beam's chat so that somebody like Snippin that's on multiple platforms at one time and active on several of them beyond TikTok. She has a very active Kick account too. So so it gives her the ability to manage that chat a lot easier. And now the second story is that one time, just I would say a few weeks ago, I stopped by Snippin's Hammer's channel, and she goes, "You're making a woman very unhappy. I'm going out of my mind."
I don't know what I said that about.
and I go, Snippin, what is it? The TikTok chat is not working.
It ruined. I was like, the whole stream is off. I'm flustered. I'm like, what's going
And
on?
I got 1,000 people that follow me on TikTok, so I need TikTok working. And it's a fun moment for me because that's how we feel. So she's actually preaching to the choir, right? To the converted, because we feel it's our responsibility to make that stuff work. So if we say it works, it should work. And she went through a whole lot of trouble and searching to get her multi-streaming key so that she can stream and multi-stream to TikTok from Beam. So it should work. And now finally it works. The other day I stopped by and it wasn't working, and she just gave me the evil look and said, it ain't working." I said, "I'll contact Theodore," and then Theodore fixed it on the fly.
So I guess another question is, what are the platforms that are integrated in UniChat? It's the big ones. It's Twitch, it's Kick, it's YouTube, it's Beam itself.
hmm
I know.
I have a list. Let me look it up. Hold on one second. I have a list of the ones that are integrated fully. So to explain to whoever asked that is, you probably already know that you can multi-stream to 75 platforms simultaneously. Like, that's the big word here. It's not like you can, if you wanted to, you can be on all those platforms at one time, right? No one does that. So I can tell you that the maximum amount of streams from any of our competitors is between 13 and 15. That's the most they can do on their platform, but per user. So we are now, frankly, the largest multi-streaming platform. Now, in addition to that, what your chat member and viewer is asking is, which of the platforms does Beam support UniChat and UniViewers? Because we tell you how many people are watching you, and those are YouTube, Twitch, TikTok, Twitter, which is X, Rumble, Trovo, DLive, Party, Kick, Noise, Nemo TV, and Odyssey. Unfortunately, Noise has announced that they're having a little bit of issues and they may be out of business. But you know, we're really happy that that we were able to try to help them and you know to get an audience, and they did get a big audience from Beam on their platform.
Hmm.
I guess leading off of that question is how easy is it to multi-stream? What's the process of multi-streaming, right? On Beam, and does it cost money? And with the the sponsorships that
Right. So when we were developing Beam, I wanted multi-streaming to be as simple as possible, and we wanted it to be kind of like a switch, like turn on, off. So if you know the analogy that I've used before and I use once in a while, it's like turning the lights on your house. You don't need to know the complexity that's behind the scenes, from generation to transmission to
Mm.
stepping down the electricity to turning it from AC to DC. All you want to do is turn on your lights, right? And
Yeah.
that's how we did it. As long as you have the multi-streaming keys, you can stream very easily. So in my opinion, it's the easiest platform to multi-stream from.
I
Yeah,
And
so
concur.
as
yeah,
soon as I set it up, it was really easy to
yeah.
do.
Well, thank you, Anime, because I know that bar's high with you. So so anyway, then so to further the you know the second part of the question. Well, ask me again. What was the question? The first part was that I want to, because I'm going to probably take a tangent.
So how you get started? So like for me, I OBS, I hit start streaming. As long as I have the stream key to whatever the 75 platform, I plug it into Beam, and then it'll go through. There's a little toggle
And
on
it
off switch.
yeah, and it uses our servers. So one of
Yes.
the biggest things is that it does not use you are connected. You are basically, as far as your system is concerned, your bandwidth, your system, you are streaming to one platform. So it's we the goal is for Beam to become a hub for you to, you know, with the universe of all live streaming platforms and the ones that are going to come, because this doesn't stop, right? It's There's going to be new ones. In fact, we found out about a new one just a couple days ago, so that we already support. And so you know the universe continues to expand, like in reality. You know, the universe is expanding, so the universe of live streaming expands. We see ourselves more like a hub, like we are the connective tissue between all of those planets that are within your orbit. And to do it, it's very, very simple. It's just not even, I mean, Anime, how long did it take you to figure it out? Honestly, it wasn't that long, right? The multi-streaming.
No, it wasn't difficult at all. Once we got like the different plugins that we needed for OBS to do what we needed to do with so many platforms, it was just plugging it in. You
Hmm.
just plug your stream key in and you're good to go.
Very nice for people who don't have a great PC, right? Like you said, OBS or Streamlabs to Beam, and
Hmm.
then Beam takes all those other platforms you're streaming to. They take the brunt of it, right? You only streaming to one.
Yeah, and that
Right,
was a problem we ran into. We were trying to take so much onto our PC before we found Beam, and
um,
now it's just made it a lot simpler. It's taken all the resources off. It's
I
it's
use a
great.
right,
laptop.
and the thing about it is, you know, so people they need to be holistic about things. They can't, you know, when you slice things, then you can have arguments against it. But if you are holistic about it, that means, for example, if Snippin is streaming and Anime decides that she wants to stream a movie, it's not a problem,
Hmm.
because the bandwidth that Snippin is using does not consume their entire bandwidth. And I know their bandwidth because I'm the one that recommended the company to them. So
Internet
I know
company.
I know they're set for life. So anyway, you know, it's not really about just the multi-streaming. It's the fact that we created an entire network that is in 200 and some cities around the world. We made multi-streaming not only more capable, but a lot simpler and affordable. Okay,
Yeah.
that was the last part.
Yes.
That was the
Yeah,
last part.
yeah.
I was going to talk about the money, but I wanted to make sure. So the money aspect is that if you want to multi-stream to 15 platforms on Restream.io, it's going to cost you $200 plus.
Hmm.
Or if you're going to do it on Streamlabs, it's about 150 plus. So,
Yep.
and by the way, I don't even know that either one of them gets to 15. That's a question for Theodore. I don't even know that they get to 15. If you're going to do it, if you can, so I could save that money. I can just do it. Try multi-streaming to 15 platforms from your PC and see what happens. And one of the things that we're finding out is that a lot of the software that was developed as a plugin hits the processor, the CPU, really hard. Instead of doing what we do on Beam, is that we hit your GPU, which is what's capable of the proper encoding and decoding for you to be able to see this fluently. A lot of them are using the CPU, and that's going to cost, because you overheat that CPU, that's going to go on you. It's just unavoidable. And I don't know what kind of cooling they're using, but that's it. But it's very, there is a limit of how many you can do on one PC. Instead, you can use an entire network of servers that we have and unload that to us, and it's $3.95 a month. Now,
Wow.
and then if anybody goes, you're charging for streaming. Okay, no, I'm not paying for streaming. Then we have an option, and you can select. This is the first time this has ever been done, by the way. This is absolutely innovative, and I know because I came up with the idea. So I know that it's innovative. Is the fact that you can select. Let's say Anime is now promoting Dr. Pepper, and Dr. Pepper happens to be one of the people that are on there, and I think that's a great promotion because it's a Texas company and a Texas product. So thank you for doing that, because I'm in Texas.
Love
And
Dr. Pepper.
and then she wants to stream, and she doesn't want to pay. So the exchange is Dr. Pepper agrees to pay the $3.95 a month, but in exchange, they run an ad at the beginning. So it's a pre-roll ad at the beginning of your stream, and no ad is more than 15 seconds. Just know that's a rule. It has to be okay. Maybe there's one that's 16. Maybe there's one that's 16, but 15 seconds is the limit, right? And then it will run again every hour after you're watching it for an hour. What it does is it pauses the stream while it plays at 15 seconds. So you're behind 15 seconds, but you can reload, and like I do, and then you're caught up again if you want to. So it says you can choose what do you want. Was the information that Snippin was sharing so important that you don't want to miss it, and you're okay with being 15 seconds behind, or do you want to just jump over what she's saying there and be right on time? And by the way, I shouldn't say this, but you can reload the browser anyway when the ad is playing, and it skips the ad completely. We don't play games. So I gave the entire community
tips and tricks right here. Only for
well,
people.
I do it once in a while, so might as well just share it.
There you go.
But it
Well,
doesn't
thank
bother
you.
me. The ads don't bother me, especially Alexander PC's ad, because they are, they made their ads internally, and they are, and they acknowledge what's happening. I enjoy your stream now, and you know what I'm saying. They give. It's not an ad that is unrelated to gaming or unrelated to what's happening. We try to make sure the ads are related to the community. So that's another thing. The companies that we seek are all in the realm of this. Right now we're very much gaming, so a lot of them have hardware or products that relate to the gaming community.
Which works. I really do think it works, as far as you're not getting random things that you're not interested at all. The ads that you are getting are the ones that you are more than likely interested in or needing or looking for already in other areas.
That was the goal. That was the goal, to have things that would be interesting. That was the idea, in fact. Why
right
do
nail on the head.
random advertising? If you look at the shows, random advertising started in the 40s and 50s, right? If you look at television shows, back in my back before me, back before my in the 50s, if you look at those old black and white shows, they go, and this is brought to you by Alka-Seltzer, or this is brought to you by, it's just unrelated things.
Mhm.
And that's the way, and there was a disconnect between content and advertising. And it happened early. Like,
Yeah.
and I understand why, so you can expand. I hear one of the cats. And it happened early. And I tried to reconnect that and say, okay, what if the advertising was related somehow? And it wasn't so intrusive or obtrusive.
Mhm.
So, and that's what we came up with. And everybody tells me they don't mind them at all. So,
Nice.
15
Yeah.
seconds. So
There you go.
no one's ever complained to tell me, oh, those ads, blah, blah, blah. No, not one person.
We have another chat question.
Ooh, okay.
Will hiring contracted streamers to Beam be a possibility? That's something you guys are.
No, it's not a possibility. And I'll explain why. It's because we don't own a gambling operation to finance that. So that's the reason why. If we did, then we have to be very cautious about our expenses. We instead, Snippin, what we've done is we've given the community a lot of opportunities. So first of all, we're the first and only platform that you can join and immediately get 70%. I mean, honestly, you don't have to go through a verification process. You don't have to be approved. You don't have to, and we're eliminating a lot of what we believe is unnecessary distance between the streamer and their earnings, right? So I can tell you this Snippin got one of the first payments that we ever made. So for that from her subs. So anyway, so that's number one. Number two is that listen, if I owned a gambling operation, then maybe we could do it, because that's the billions of dollars that you make out of that can definitely, you can throw a couple $100 million at this and it's not a big deal. But we're not that type of operation. We are very careful about the bottom line. And what we do instead, Snippin, is we give people. We've attracted companies. In fact, I will let you know something that we haven't let anyone know yet. Is that next month we are in conversations. We should have answers this week about going back to doing something interesting that we did in the beginning of Beam, is doing the Catterday streamings, and then people can win things. So we want to reward our streamers, and we want companies to feel that they're part of this. We're the only ones that have partnerships with companies. Name another one. They have advertisers, but they don't have partners, and we have partnerships with companies, and those companies are willing to give to the community to hopefully get the goodwill of the community, so they buy their products. So we take another view. Of course, as you know, it doesn't take much to become partner, Snippin, on Beam, and then you're up to 90% payout. We did release our dashboard, which shows all the different ways that people can make money. If they carefully analyze it, they'll see. And then we announce that we'll have Embers, which is our own currency, that there'll be tips, there'll be gifts, there'll be games that you can donate, all kinds of things. So we're very. It's still in beta. So it's in beta still. So, but it's open to the whole community. And the dashboard, I hate to put Theodore on the line on that one. So Theodore and his team are the ones that need to figure that out. But I know he's working on it now. So he took a little bit of a vacation again. He went to the Netherlands to spend time with a friend of his, and now he's back. And I know he told me yesterday that's his priority, to get that dashboard out. So I don't know what that means, but I mean, you saw the UI, so that's all done. That's kind of the hard part. And then he just needs to make sure. And then there's going to be also He is planning on also having, graphs that show, the trends, and are you trending up, are you trending down, and all that. So quickly if your subs are dropping, if you're the
Mm.
data that you need to respond in real time to any needs that any occurrences that may happen in your business of running your stream. And that's one of the differences, Snippin. We see the channels because we get paid. So the way that we look at it is, even if you're sponsored, we're getting paid the $3.95 for your channel. So you're buying your channel from us. It's different. It's a different relationship. So the relationship is very different. So you're in charge of your content. Okay. Notice that by you doing that, it opens in many opportunities for us to host many types of things that are not pornographic, by the way, or illegal. And so don't get any ideas, Anime. We're not going.
I was just gonna say, I'm glad you pointed her out first.
I gotta tease it. I gotta tease the future Beam mommy.
Oh, that's
so
funny.
so anyway, but no, in all seriousness, I think that that's a very industry defining thing that we feel that it's your channel. And I am a big supporter of the right to self-expression and for people to have their views. And I've seen everything on Beam, from extreme left to extreme right to extreme this to extreme that. And honestly, it makes me happy to have the full on, not to steal from the community, but to have the full spectrum, the full rainbow of people that on our platform. So that's a very important, I think, in consideration, that people are paying for their channel, and that's a good thing, not a bad thing, as most people think.
With that, I know Snippet has another question, but I wanted to ask this in the sense of the monetization and everything else. As another big portion or part of streaming, or big streamers for like Snippin, that will require moderators and people to come and assist in the channel, and with that, is there a plan to help financially assist those people as a business, moderation as a business on Beam?
No, there's no plan, frankly, Inc. There's no plan. We haven't even thought about it. You're actually asking me something that I never even thought about. I'll have to think about what business model could be built around that. So,
Wonderful.
But yes, moderation becomes a thing. And especially for a channel like Snippin, where I mean, anybody can sneak anything in there because it's moving fairly quickly. I don't know right now, but normally it is. And yeah, and that becomes an issue. So yeah, we'll have to think about that.
All right.
As far as we are concerned, Snippin is running, and you, Inc., are running your business. And Anime is, she streams once in a while. You guys are running your business. This is your business. Our job is to make sure that you have all the tools and all the ways. We have some incredible announcements coming over. And I think that people that are, if they think about it, they're going to go, wow, this is transformative. These things are big moves. And so I don't want to talk about it because I'm going to ruin it. But yes, we have some really big technologies that we're integrating into Beam. So our job really is to make, let's use Snippin as an example, Snippin's job as easy as possible. She is her. Yeah, well, she is the product.
Yeah.
She is the product. People go to her channel because they want to spend time with Snippin Hammer. Why?
Indeed.
I discussed this with Snippin because Snippin, doesn't matter if she has 100 people, 200 people, 300 people watching her. She recognizes and takes a moment and says, and it's very warm towards her audience, and thank you for this, and let's do Hammer time now. And she has, I find it extremely endearing. In fact, that's what attracted me to her stream to begin with.
Same.
She's just a warm person. She is very business. She's like on the clock. She's not lingering either. And she's moving forward. And
that's the officer in her.
and all this, Inc., while she's playing a video game.
Yeah,
which I always have told her there's no way I can do that.
same.
Like if I play, I have to put blinders on when I'm playing a video game. So and then she's chatting with Anime, who's in the background because stuff happens, and she's like, "Well, this just broke and all that," and Anime's out there, trying to figure it out. I mean, it's an incredible thing to see,
Indeed.
and I really have warm feelings for them, for both of them. Right away, I was very impressed how honest she was about the fact that she was married to a woman. I was super happy because my daughter is gay, so she's in a relationship with a woman. So I was like, this is the kind of thing that the world needs. It's
Mm,
she normalized it.
indeed.
She
Indeed.
normalized it. And that's why I think she's so successful. And she's not even hitting the tip of the iceberg yet.
Indeed.
She is gonna blow up big time.
I
No
hear ya.
sign.
No
You know?
That's
question
what
in
we're
my
waiting
mind.
on. Mama needs to retire.
So I think she's gonna blow up. One day we're gonna go into her channel. There'll be thousands of people watching her because it's
Thousands, yeah.
entertaining.
That's the goal, baby.
That's the
Yeah.
goal. Yeah.
So anyway,
Chat,
go ahead. I'm sorry, Snippet.
A French fry says, this is directed towards you, I believe, Angel. What kind of content do you like to see on Beam, which you kind of touched on?
Oh, that's great. That's a great question. Yeah.
Mm.
And then what do you like, you as the CEO, what do you like to see? And then what do you personally, do you like sports, puzzle, combat, video games? What?
So I really okay. So I enjoy the video games, obviously, because I've been in the video game industry for the better part of 25 years. But I'm really, really find these things like what we're doing now, basically IRL, very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
You muted yourself, Ink, if you're talking to us. So, okay, you were talking to someone else. And so anyway, I really think this format, this what we're doing right now, has an incredible amount of opportunity because it's unrehearsed. You get to make a judgment, not only on me, people are judging on all of us.
Yeah.
And hopefully Snippet and you will end up with more followers. And because you are triggering something, a lot of people don't know the things I know about you, Ink, that you're a published author, that you are very, very much up. There's one of my cats now.
Oh,
They're
they both
everywhere.
been in there. They both
Yeah.
been in there.
And the fact that you really are a big promoter of the kind of thinking that leads to the proper results in life. And that's been the story of my life. I preach that not as a theory, but as a way of life, as a
Indeed.
lifestyle.
Mhm.
And that's the way that I've approached my life. I mean, when you think about it, I've lived an incredible life, Ink, and I'm
You
still at
have.
it.
Indeed. And that's the beautiful thing about it too, is that as much as you have shared, that's only bits and pieces of the experience, the total experience of that is you, And so I'm,
Mhm.
just excited to continue to hear more and more about you as a person that continues to grow and create, which is a beautiful thing overall. And so, brings me to a good point as well, because being, for me, there's the difference. We have a big variety here, right? We have a streamer like Snippin, who is really into the streaming aspect as the business, as everything, as a way of living, and it creates it has helped her out in so many ways for her type of business. And then there's a streamer like myself, where I come into a different world, and I really need a place to not have this a place to just stream my games, but to speak about the things that I'm doing, the people that I'm connecting with, and use that as an advertisement place, and to be able to stream to, like you said, 15 plus places, and to have that type of audience all over, it is truly useful. So to have
But Ink, you're doing. I mean, if you don't mind me
no,
adding,
please.
you're doing a lot more than that because you're sharing your life. You're traveling to places across the planet, and then you carry your phone, and you're basically reacting. I saw you reacting to foods, reacting to people, talking to strangers, and all that. that cannot be done in any other way but in live streaming. And it's so
Mm,
incredible that you let people into your own fears sometimes and insecurities and all that, and trying to build relationships across the planet. And so I really, I remember when you were in Asia,
mm.
I saw you. Your times were a little bit different for me to watch because you were in Asia. But when I saw you on, I would tune in just to see what you were reacting to in both Japan and in Thailand.
Mm,
And
thank
as
you.
somebody that's traveled the world myself, and I've had so many experiences and so many friendships across the planet, I can tell you that is an invaluable thing to share, because it
Thank you.
shows that we're people all over the planet. That doesn't
Hmm.
matter, where you're at and all that. It's people to our people. We're all having a human experience.
Indeed,
So
indeed.
so anyway, so I wanted to
Thank
point
you.
that out that you're leaving out, and
I
that
no, I appreciate it.
yeah, and that's a
Public
big thing.
speaker.
Yeah,
Yeah,
indeed, and
Public
exactly.
speaker
it
as well.
does, and that has helped. Again, a big part of that is what Beam does bring to the table, right? The ability to be able to put myself out there and to make it easy. Anime Freak knows how difficult I can be to try and just to set things up. So if you
Mhm.
feel like, ah man, there's another platform that I'm gonna have to learn, if Ink can do it, anybody can do it. It is that easy, my
That's
And
true.
people.
Snippet, and then Snippet could do
Yeah, we all
it.
can. We all can. And that
Well,
is a
that
big
was the
That's
thing.
goal.
true.
I'm happy to hear that, because that was the goal. Is we
Mm,
didn't want people to have to be, you know, tech savvy
mhm,
to be able to
Mhm.
use our platform. So we lowered the bar, and then we're letting everybody into the experience of multi-streaming. And by the way, of course, as your audience probably already knows, we are a platform of our own.
Mhm.
So Beam has viewers, and it has monetization, and it has all the elements of any platform. And I just if I had to share a real moment with you guys, I would say that I feel so privileged that I am part of such a wonderful movement. I
mm,
do not take it for granted. I really am enjoying the process of building Beam. And now that we've passed over 100,000 people on Beam, our next goal is to be at 1 million. And
we get
and
there.
with that, it changes our scope, but we will remain the same people that we are today. So we are not going to change because, we have now 1 million people. So the same access, the same, and then of course the people that have been with us the longest are the ones that everybody are going to envy. They're going to go, oh,
Mhm.
Snippet gets to talk to Angel all the time. Oh, Ink is traveling with him. Look at him over there.
Now that
So
kind of leads in another question. Is there any sort of plan of being able to demonstrate the length that you've been on Beam eventually?
yes, there will be.
Awesome.
Yeah, there will
Awesome.
be. We've been asked several times about that. I heard Theodore talking about it recently, and he was saying that yes, we need to recognize people that have been on the platform. So
I
yeah.
guess based off of that as well, like to something like a lot of platforms, Twitch and Kick, you have like the verified check mark. If you're
Hmm.
Mhm.
partnered, you get something special or something like some way of recognition, so to speak.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Absolutely. Yeah, the reason that we haven't done that yet, Snippet, it has nothing to do with us not knowing the importance of that.
Mhm.
We learned the importance of that on G Tribe, frankly. G
Mm.
Tribe has different recognitions, and people are very proud of those. So,
Yeah.
so it is what it is. And so anyway, the reason we haven't done it is because we want to get some of the core features uh, integrated into Beam. Theodore's working on something very exciting. I hope that he's very optimistic that'll work. We have a big announcement, hopefully, if for Beam, that will happen probably early next month, which is around the
All
corner.
right.
And and I think that it will show everyone how serious we are about elevating live streaming to the next possible level. I mean, there's
Mm.
really there's really no reason for someone not to be on Beam.
Mm.
Exactly.
I agree. I
I mean,
agree.
there's
Yeah.
really no reason that people have to have opinions. So that's okay. People have to have opinions, and we encounter them once in a while, and people go, you're charging, and we're not going to pay, or whatever it is. And
Yeah.
people have to have opinions, but ultimately, we made it so easy and so approachable, and we lowered the bar to such level while providing an equal to better service.
Mm.
So our multi-streaming is phenomenal, by the way.
Yeah.
So you're not compromising. You can
Indeed.
pay if you want to pay Restream.io, which I have no problems with. I love, I like that they're there, and I like, we've actually talked to Streamlabs about ways we can cooperate. But the thing about it is that if you want to be on those platforms and you feel comfortable paying from $20 to $200, that's your choice. I have no issues with that. But really, in reality, $3.95 is going to be the big issue.
As as a person who has
$4,
paid,
even in this economy,
yeah, it's
$4 ain't a lot. And by the way, you
indeed,
get one subscription and it's paid for because the
indeed.
subscriptions are more than the $3.95. If you didn't want to, because some people don't like to be sponsored, and that I understand that they want to pay.
Mhm.
So and then we made it the lowest possible number.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just it really cannot be any lower than that. It
Mm.
really, realistically, it should actually be $6.95. That's where our cost lands, but we see it as an opportunity to get people to try it and keep it low as long as we can. So, and
Wow.
we just paid for our servers all the way to the end of next year. So we're
Dang.
going to be around.
Yeah. So
So
we
we're
getting
going to be around.
50% off without being 50%
I know
off.
that's a worry. I know that's a worry because so many platforms come and go. I don't have a history of failing. If you look at my bio, you'll see that I do have a history of selling things, but I take my time to sell it. So this is, by the way, Beam is not for sale.
Mm.
So that's another nervousness thing because people go, "Ooh, well, what if you?" Somebody contact me and goes, "Well, Microsoft bought the original Beam. They can buy you now." I'm like, they're not doing that, and they're not going to go back to something that was named and that they closed down. So
Mm.
because they bought Beam, turned it into Mixer, and then closed it three or 4 years later. Anyway, go ahead, Snippet. You got the questions, girl.
Right? It was right there.
As a streamer, Beam is great, right? I use it every time I stream. Even if I'm only going to stream to one place, I'm still using Beam to multi-stream, and it's the
Mhm.
best place to stream. I guess the question is, what are we doing, or you guys are doing, to improve the viewer experience? Is that including embers? You see channel points in other places. So what are we doing to enhance the viewer standpoint?
Yeah, that's a great question, an important one. Embers is the thing that we see as our effort and plan to increase the viewer experience beyond the fact that we have a technology that is not deployed yet. That's called Pain, and it allows. I think if you guys remember when we announced it early when we launched Beam, that the viewer is going to move where you are located, so they can drag your. So for example, if you're playing a video game and you're on the left bottom corner, they can move you up to the top. They can actually expand you saw that snippet. Yeah,
Oh,
it's on our
okay, okay.
it's on our Twitter feed. So a lot of people ask me, how do I stay on top of the developments on Beam? I normally recommend Twitter because everything we do we announce there. It's normally a summary because we're not paying Twitter to add more words. so it's 150 characters or less, or 140 characters or less, whatever it is. And then if it has a link, the link will be to our page on G Tribe. So, which is owned by us. So I would say that and maybe Discord, because Daniel has a lot of posts there and tries to keep people informed of what's going on. I would say those are the two things, but I think Twitter is the best. And I know that people our Twitter's gotten political now, and people are not happy, and they're going to Blue
Mm.
Sky and all that. It's just that we're not into that. Just just follow us and forget the rest.
Yeah, yeah.
Follow us. You don't have to be paying attention to any
Right.
ignorance that goes on.
Put on the
I don't.
filters.
Yeah. If you bookmark our profile, that's all you're
Mhm.
gonna see. That's the
Exactly.
trick. Don't go to your
Yeah.
homepage. Go to our profile. That's it. That's
Yeah.
the solution. Anyway,
Indeed.
so Embers is the solution. Embers it's gonna be interesting because it's triggered on different ways, but one of them is when they sub to you, they get Embers, and then they can donate the Embers to you, or they can keep them. And I was joking the other day that one day we may have a Ember millionaire. You know.
Snippin will be the first.
Yeah, would it be interesting?
So
And
let's say
then Ember
Ink gives
and
me Embers. That's
yeah,
how I
and
keep
Embers
that
can be
money.
yeah, and
Okay.
Snippin Embers can be used in the merch our merch store that's
Merch
coming.
store? Yes.
So I
Okay.
am finally the only reason we haven't launched the merch store is we have the hat, which is there's version 1.0, which is what Snip and Hammer has. Then there's that same hat. There's version 2.0 of that one, and then this is the latest iteration of that. And I actually like her hat more as far as the construction of it, but it is unconstructed. So what that means is that you notice if you look at it that it wrinkles in the front. That's because it doesn't have the piece of material that keeps it up like that, and this one does. So this is going to be what people are going to get. I can tell you right now. And this one, although that's all 100% cotton, has a beautiful the way that it doesn't have plastic on the back. It's all a strip of cotton, and it has a buckle that you can that
Yeah.
and snipping for snipping, you can snip it, you can snap it on, and it's really nice. It's a very nice hat. It's the best that I can find, but it's unconstructed. And this one, it's constructed. Now, both are embroidered, of course. And we have a partnership with a company that we eventually are going to offer also, and this is eventually like in 3 or 4 months, to streamers to be able to create their own merch too, right on Beam. So
Wonderful.
so
There
we
goes my question.
we want to make everything easier, just easier for the streamer. So so they can buy merch with their Embers or gift them to you. There will be at one point, we're not sure yet because the laws are so strict, how you can turn Embers back into money. That's a Theodore question. He's a genius on that. And I'm not sure how that process is going to work, but it'll have a monetary value.
Very nice.
Mhm.
Very, very nice. You got anything else?
I know that you can viewers will soon in the future be able to gift like games or
Mhm.
Embers. I think Ink was asking the other day, but this was one of your questions, is can me as a streamer gift like one of my top viewers? Like we do a little competition, the person with the most watch time wins, something like that.
Absolutely.
So it'll be both ways.
Absolutely. So it's both ways. Yeah. So absolutely. So at one point, I think Theodore may be watching because I know he was joining your channel. I don't know if he's still there. But Theodore is creating a that system, and eventually it'll go both ways. You can give Embers to one of your viewers.
Ooh, okay.
You can gift a game and do a giveaway. We already built a giveaway system on G Tribe, so people on G Tribe are constantly doing their own, not constantly, but a lot of giveaways. So we have a giveaway system that we can hopefully import into Beam and allow the streamer to do their own giveaway, and people can, whatever the requirements are, like like the ones that we do. Think about it the way that it has all these ways to earn XP and then hopefully win the in this case the PC. By the way, the next PC that we're giving away,
we need to work extra hard then, huh?
Giveaway happening. It closes on the 26th, correct?
Yeah, the July, and we may announce it July 1st or the 2nd. Yeah.
Ooh,
the next one right away.
Okay.
And it's a nice PC. When I saw it, I was like, wow.
This is it. This is the one for Snippet.
I'll give it a little bit of a tip. If you're a fan of Lord of the Rings, be all over it. There she is.
My land.
There we
Yeah. You didn't hear that snipping. I said if you're a fan of Lord of the Rings, you're gonna love that PC. That's all I gotta say.
All right.
So it's really nice. It's very, very pretty. Very pretty. I was
Messing it up.
surprised because our partners at Alexander PCs, they're actually donating these PCs to the community.
Wow.
They're not giving it. We see them in pictures just like everybody else.
Mm.
And TJ, who is the president of Alexander PCs, goes, I have the perfect computer for the next giveaway, and it goes, let me send you a picture. And I was like, I would like that myself. It's really nice. So I think it's like a $4,000 PC by itself without anything else. Yeah, I think so. Maybe
Dang.
3,700. It's close. It's up there. It's really nice. So I think you guys are gonna really like it. Everybody's gonna like it. So, but the one that we're giving away will be we will be announcing next. Is it next week or this week? Let me look. We'll be announcing the winner on Saturday. I think it's this coming Saturday, right?
Yeah,
Am I wrong?
think it ends on the 26th.
You're right.
Right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
And yeah, it ends at 26, and then we will announce the winner on Saturday. And we announce them right on Beam. So it'll be Theodore and I, maybe Brent will join also, and then we talk a little bit about the process, and then we announce the winner. And the winner could be anywhere in the world, by the way. So there's no, I mean, there are a couple of regional restrictions, but that's because of where we're located in the U.S. that we're not allowed to do promotions in a handful of countries, but otherwise it's everywhere.
Gotcha. Alongside, now another great addition that came along fairly early compared to other places is the integration of having the app, the cell phone app for Beam. Being able to stream on that was definitely useful. That was one of the reasons why I felt comfortable paying the $200 or $150 for Streamlabs for that thing. I'm like, okay, I can control it through my computer, have it all set up, and then boom, I can just open up the app on my phone and hit go live, and I'm there everywhere. You guys have that, and my question goes into, will the games, if I'm streaming I'm capturing the screen on my cell phone of whatever cell phone games that they're out there, will the gifting of the games and stuff like that include the cell phone games, like the games that you can get as an app?
I'm not sure. That's a good question, and that's a question for Theodore. So Theodore can answer that, but I think not in the beginning.
Gotcha.
So this app needs work. We want it to be, as Beam is, to be seamless, and there's a lot of things that go into doing that properly. So I understand the challenges like you had when you were in Asia. And we will address those, but we have to build a small team around that product.
Makes sense.
So, but we will have, you're hearing it from me, we will have a, absolutely incredible experience like the experience on Beam also on the platform. In fact, I'm using, one of the things that Beam does really beautifully is that if you're using Chrome as a browser, it actually tells you that you can install the app for Beam. So it's a Chrome web app. It's gorgeous. So you can have a Beam app on your desktop.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I have. I operate only off that. So you go to Chrome, you go to beamstream.gg. You'll see, I don't know how it's represented. Frankly, I can't remember. But there's like a little download. There's a little download button maybe on the URL field on the right side, I think it is, and you click on it, and it will ask you if you want to download the Beam app. Say yes. It's really nice. Like, you will not go again to the website. It's really, really nice. And then you can, and then it has its own icon for Beam, and then
down there. He said, "Ooh."
So yeah, we never announced that, and I
Yeah,
feel
nice.
bad because so many people that I've told goes, why didn't you guys announce that? That's awesome. And all that, because once you use it, you will not go back to typing in, because it launches that you can do, you have access to your studio, everything from that window. So basically it turns it into an app, and you double click the app if it's on your desktop or whatever, and then it launches Beam directly and fast and super
Doing that.
fast. There's actually a lot of optimization, so it actually loads really fast. So you see everything come vroom, like that, like straight down. So, and then if you see one stream that is kind of still the little circle that is not loading, that's really because either it's really remote, like in Asia or something like that, and it takes a little longer, or they may not have the right settings and they may be pushing higher bit rates than they can really support. That's a lot of people think that because we support high bit rates up to 15,000 that you can do that. It's dependent on your system and your bandwidth. So
I learned that the hard way.
it's better. It's better to do a lower bit rate, like than to try to push those bit rates too high. So unless you have the power for it. And I just and I believe in Alexander PCs so dramatically and so strongly that they're building my next PC. And it's a monster of a PC. So I'll announce it on G Tribe, and I'll put a picture of it on Beam so people can, on Twitter so people can see it. But
Very
I'm very
nice.
excited. I'm very excited about it. So
I am too
we
now.
we just spec'd it out, and it's gonna be like, it's next level. Like I won't need another PC for another 5, 6, 7 years probably. So unless
my
there's
goodness.
a big breakthrough in technology, but it's a beast, and they're so excited about it too. They're like, oh my god, they don't get to build these crazy systems all the time, so they're super excited. So and yes, for those who wonder, I am a gamer. I do game, and so I'm not sure that is the realm of only the young. So, and in fact, one of the things that I've noticed, Ink, is that the population of Beam tends to be older.
Really?
Yes, there's not many
Interesting.
kids on. There's
Look at all these
really
old
no.
heads.
You know?
They're in their 30s and higher. So we have people in their 70s that are on Beam. A lot of people are in their 60s. A lot of people are in their 50s that are streaming on Beam.
Goes to show how easy it is.
Yeah,
exactly.
A lot of the
Exactly,
older
yeah.
generation, not all, obviously, but my
Hey,
parents don't even know
I
how to turn on the.
resemble. I
Listen,
resemble that remark. Be careful with your words.
how old are you, Angel? If you don't mind answering, you just
Snippet, I'm just
turned.
making fun of you.
You turned
It's all
60.
good. I have no problem saying that I'm 65 years old.
65.
I love it. I absolutely love. I am so privileged, Ink, that I am healthy. I mean, I can't complain.
I love it. I
But
love
I
it.
don't
I
feel
love
it.
that.
I
Yeah.
don't feel it. It doesn't.
You're
It does. I was born in
65
1960, so
and can do
you know.
all this, but my mother, who is turning 60 in just a few days, can't turn on the cell phone, right? So like,
Yeah.
but she
Well,
can hit the power button and whatnot. But I honestly, wholeheartedly believe my mother could figure out Beam. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you turn on the PC, and once she knows what a stream key is, she's golden.
Another thing is, what you could do is, if she has Chrome on her PC, install the app and say, hey, once in a while, watch me here and all that, and she can launch it and she'll be hooked, because there's news reporting, there's all kinds of things that go on Beam. It's actually getting really interesting.
Chat
And
said
I've been
65. I would have said 40. They're being too kind.
Thank you. I listen, it's a big conversation of my friends and I, especially one of my best friends who has been my assistant for 30 years, Jay Whitney. Jay just this morning tells me, goes, that picture of you with the Defiant shirt and the hat, you look 45 in that picture. What the hell's going on? I have no idea. It's just, listen, I like to be the anomaly. So, all my friends are retiring or are retired already. I just don't, I don't even think that way. I have I love being a human on the planet Earth, and I
Okay.
love making contacts with people. I love
Mm,
getting to know people as I've gotten to know all of you. And
mhm.
I'm telling you, that is the best. If I think, if nothing else, that keeps you young, engaged, and frankly, and aware. Because when you start losing awareness, that's when
Yeah.
I retire, by the way. When I go, okay, what day is today, and what do I do for a living? I'm out.
Mm. Proof is
If
in the
that ever
pudding.
happens. If my mom is super youthful too, and she is almost 90,
Mm,
and she is like sharp, like super sharp, like sharp on the
wonderful.
turn, sharp on everything. So I think I got it from her.
You got it. There it is.
Yeah, I think I got it from her.
Dang.
So
Snippy, you got
snipping,
anything?
yes, you got my age on the damn show.
Yeah, no, she was waiting on that.
By the way, I want to announce that Snip and Hammer and Anime Freak are trying to have a baby, and
Yes.
I've already
Yes.
named the baby the Beam Baby. I'm
Ooh.
going to actually get this baby a beanie. That'll be the first and only beanie, and anything else that they can make these things. So we're they're trying. So it's not but they're not giving up. They've had a couple of upsets along the way, and I could always tell that it was bad news when I go into Snip and Hammer's channel because she's not quite at her normal level, and
Mm,
but I know it's going to happen, and I think that
Hmm.
you guys are going to make great moms. So I'm
indeed.
very
Thank you.
excited. I'm very, very excited for both of you. Just wanted to say that to the entire community. So we all want the Beam Baby.
Yes,
Beam
we're
Bean
excited.
baby.
We're
baby.
excited.
So
Yes.
anything
When
else?
when are we going to see Beam on console? A console app for Beam. And this
Mm.
might be a little
So
bit further off. I know PS5,
yeah,
right?
so you can, there is a trick some people do it
Okay.
to stream on PS5. I can't remember the URL snipping, but there is a URL where you can get the instructions of how to stream on PS4 and PS5. Microsoft has been a little more difficult, although my advisor, my tech advisor at Beam, I can't name him because anyway, because it's Microsoft.
Mm,
He's a Microsoft employee. He's a Microsoft executive,
mm.
and he has not been able to get us to the right people so that we get permission from Microsoft to do the Xbox. But that is going to happen. I am like, I'm that squeaky door.
And do you think as the problem is Beam as a whole is still not to the levels they want to add
No,
so
no, I
we
think no, no. I don't think that's the issue
okay.
anymore because um there's a lot of buzz around Beam, by the way.
Yes.
A
Mm.
lot of buzz. So a lot
Mhm.
of people that didn't know Beam, and now, they're wondering what the hell happened because there's the OG Beam that, happened a few years ago, many years ago, or not many, but like 10 years ago, and then there's us now. And there's buzz. I mean, people, we see it with the growth. We see it with all those statistics. By the way, we process over 1 million messages a month on Beam.
Wow.
That's unbelievable for a new platform. So
Yeah.
we're definitely hitting some incredible levels. But so I don't think it's necessarily that. I think it's just getting to the right person and having them be interested in what we do. Uh-oh, there's your tech support.
Right? Making sure everything's good.
There's
And when it is on console, when Beam does come to console, are we looking at like how it'll look on the PC? Like, is that how we're trying to run the app? Like, it's easy with the toggle on and off. So how's it gonna work for you?
So
For
yeah,
someone
so
who's
like
not technology
your
inclined.
next interview needs to be with Theodore because he's the
Okay.
expert on that. But yes, you can multi-stream
Okay.
from so people right now on PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 that went through the steps of how do you set up the DNS, which is the big issue, then you
Mhm.
then you can multi-stream. So yeah, you have access to the Beam
Okay.
Studio. Um, the thing with Microsoft is we want integration into the platform. So because integrations outside the platform they just don't perform well. We tried it and we failed. We tried to do it from the outside and we couldn't make it work. And now we really are trying, to do it from the inside. So my pretty cat once again.
Wow, look at that.
Her name is Sobek Nefru, which was an ancient
Nefru.
Egyptian queen, and I call her Sobi for short.
Sobi.
And she is an Egyptian Mao, which is unfortunately is a breed of cats that was really almost, it was on the extinct list.
I was
They're
gonna
the only
say.
naturally spotted cats. So you see that she's spotted instead of being
Wow.
striped.
Mhm.
And they're super intelligent. So she knows I'm talking because she doesn't normally when I'm working, she doesn't normally ask to be on my lap. But she came over and she goes, I know you're
Who you
distracted.
talking to?
This is my time. So, and I know you guys have what, 5 cats snipping?
4.
4. Uh-oh.
Make us crazy cat ladies, okay?
Right.
Oh, that's the limit.
25.
That's the limit. Okay.
Yeah.
So, but listen. Again, another thing about Jay, my assistant. She's the one that introduced cats to me because I was a dog person, and you too. Oh my God, they're the most incredible animals. Now I
Really?
understand why the internet is so obsessed over them. So they're just super intelligent. They figure you out. So they figure you out real quickly. They know your weaknesses. Like now, like me talking, and she sees that and she's like, okay, this is my chance.
Wife said, "Snap! The chat's trying to get us 8 more cats."
8 more cats. Jesus.
All right.
Bless you
Okay.
guys.
Okay.
Little
You're starting to snipping. You're trying to do well now. It's time to get more
Right?
cats into the family. And so anyway, I'm so proud of you, Snippet. I'm glad that your business has taken off. You Inc. with what you're trying to do with your
Indeed.
platform. Anime, I need you streaming more, especially when you become a
Agreed.
mommy.
Agreed.
With the baby
I gotta
right
take
with
care
you.
of that one and
Right?
that one.
Baby content.
I think she should do a just streaming channel, and she
Yeah.
says, "Come to me for all your tech needs," and people can just come to it. The
Oh,
channel.
you know what we're going to
Yeah.
do? What we're gonna do, one of our plans is people that do that, they can charge on Beam.
Oh,
So
there it
you have,
is.
yeah.
Yeah.
Get
So
ready
there's
to
gonna
pay
be
up,
there's
fools.
gonna be a thing where you have a fee, and I'll help you. I'll walk you through it, and my fee is $50, let's say, or
Yes,
$100
like a
or whatever it
counseling
is.
fee.
Okay.
Or
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, I
So
love
that's
that.
one of the ideas that we have for we just really
Beautiful.
understand that this is a new era and
Mhm.
that we want to make sure that now as you get more visibility on your brand that you have more opportunities to do that, like what I offered you, Ink, on the piece of art that you were
Indeed, it's almost finished. I already have
okay.
it.
And then we will put it on the merch store, and there's other artwork that we have from Kitten Cog, I mean, I saw it today for the first time, and she's creating a sort of a Beam female mascot. It's like a superhero, and it's really nice. It's really, really nice.
I'm
And her
excited.
superpower is she can be in multiple places at one time.
Oh,
Brilliant.
dang.
Brilliant.
Isn't that awesome?
Yes.
So that's
Yeah.
her superpower, yeah.
Okay.
So there may be comic books and there may be, all posters and all that with the Beam mascot.
Which
And she
leads
has
to
the
a great.
colors, the blue, we're the blue, there's purple and there's green and then we're blue. And she has the
Yep.
blue and I think she has purple hair. So anyway.
Nice. With all this happening, I know that maybe a further down question. Now, what would it take for the community to really get together and maybe create the first gathering of Beam creators?
So I would answer this way. So first of all, I have a lot of experience on live events because I did them for so long. All the esports events were live,
Hmm.
and we did them all over the world. So we do have experience in that. But we did do already the first Beam. We called it Beam Gathering, and
Ooh, okay.
and it was invite only, and it was first for people who were behind the scenes supporting Beam. So from
Wonderful.
investors and
Mhm.
and staff and just and we had absolutely zero no shows, and people
Mm,
traveled from all over the US and from other countries to be here. And I
beautiful.
hosted it right at my home, which is where I'm at right now. And people were blown away by how great and how even the enthusiasm that the community has actually
Mm.
pales by the enthusiasm of people who are supporting Beam.
Oh,
And it
it's
was
beautiful.
such a great time. I had such a wonderful time getting to talk to people and understanding and meeting people from all over that were here, including Theodor Troshenko, who lives in Spain, and he flew out
Wow.
to be part of this. So we did one. Number one was
Mm.
done. So that was a practice run. So I wouldn't be surprised, Inc. I'm not going to tell you, but I wouldn't be surprised. Uh-oh, he froze. There it goes.
Oh,
I wouldn't be surprised if we announced the next gathering, and that will be more
wonderful.
open to the creators and all that. So we get to interact on a one-on-one basis, get to sit across each other like what you do on your
Mhm.
channel, and and get to know each other and
Yeah.
get to experience the wonderful thing about life. It's not just that we're running a business, it's
Mhm.
also that we're running the business of connecting people from across the
Human
planet.
connection.
Yeah,
Indeed.
that's
I love
really
that.
what this is all about.
I love that.
So, and connecting cats.
That's it, right?
We have two
You know I
cat
love my
channels.
cats.
We have two cat channels on
Yes.
Beam. We had
Oh.
one is called Cat Paws, and the other one is called, I can't remember.
Avalanche or something.
No, it's something like I can't remember, but it's super cool. And they're not always on, but yeah, but you can if you're a cat fan,
I
there are
love her.
channels for you.
That's it. Cats
Anyway,
24/7, huh?
We got
yeah.
2 more questions for you from our
Uh-huh.
end. One is the I don't want to call anybody out, but there's been some bot epidemics going on in the streaming world.
Mhm.
Has Beam had issues with bots as of yet? And when you guys do, because they'll probably come at some point. What are we gonna do about that, or how do we stop
Sniffing,
that?
that's so no, we have so somebody reported that we had a bot on Beam, but it wasn't on Beam, it was another platform, but because it comes in the UniChat, they
Right.
thought it was on
Uh,
Beam. So we haven't had bots because we haven't opened our API yet.
Okay.
So when you open the chat API and you allow everyone to program things on your platform, that's when you get these, unwanted things. Theodore is, he is easily one of the smartest, if not the smartest developer today and on the planet. Like he's way up there in the top 1%. And he hates that. He absolutely hates bots of any type. So, for example, I'll give you one example. Someone recently said, "Oh, there's bots on Gtribe again." There's never been bots on Gtribe, and Gtribe is 11 years old because of the way we coded it. What it is people who go there, create an account, and start emailing people themselves. That's not a bot. That's a human being. There's no cure for that. Anyone can do that. But to create a bot is to hit multiple channels at one time and be selling, we like your content and we
Yeah.
we could help promote
There's
you,
been a
whatever.
lot. Come
Yeah.
check out
Yeah,
my channel. Da 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 da.
yeah,
Going
and,
around
and that
lately.
and that again, another question for Teeter, but I think that there may be ways that we can prevent that to begin with, which is the best way to do it, is to prevent it. And if we can't prevent it, to have you have a button where you could go and all of it is gone like right away, and they
Mhm.
can't come back on your channel, because that's the whole thing. One of the things that I've seen done is that people that use bots, they constantly reappear, and no matter what they do, they change their channel, they change their keys, they change this, they change that, and they constantly reappear. So there is a persistence for that it doesn't make sense to me, because I'm not sure how successful those people are being. Like
Yeah.
everybody's aware that they're bots and all that, so it's just not really. So we want to prevent them to begin with. um and then that's a great question. So when you guys do your next show, you should have Theodore on, and he can answer that very thoroughly about what would be the plan to do that. But we're going to suffer from some of that. It's
Because there has been an
unavoidable.
epidemic lately.
The
Mhm.
moment that we open our API, which is API just means a form that you can that third parties can program into our chat, you're gonna, that's really one of the reasons that we've delayed our API, because we just don't want the community going through that right now. So it's kind of an oasis, because the only spam you see is on other platforms. So when I'm watching, for example, it doesn't happen to Snippin so often, but other people, they seem to attract that. They're constantly getting this bombardment of spam. Really, it's spam. It's nothing else. And
Hey, add me on Discord. I would love to sell you some graphic artwork.
that's right. That's the
Right.
number
Oh
one.
my
That's the
goodness.
number one. Oh, sure. Let me do that right now. Ban.
Right. Now, one of the reasons why a lot of streamers don't like this is because there are repercussions, negative repercussions for them as streamers, that they have or have been invaded by bot accounts, right? Is there somewhere to tell that where the
Yeah.
streamer is not
Yeah.
punished? Okay.
Yeah, that's easy. I'm not sure why the platforms haven't. That's
Yeah, exactly.
That's easy. That's easy. I mean,
Okay.
the content tends, one of the problems with bots is the content tends to be very much the same. So we can see it right away. I mean, we know, we have all the data. One of the great things about Beam from a business perspective, Inc., is the fact that we're pulling in data from all different places into one platform, right? And we see, so we learn from what's happening on other platforms.
Indeed.
So we see that the content is very similar. It's just like Discord and all that. I mean, it's just,
Yeah.
so it's very easy for us. I think that it's very easy for us to identify that and just not even allow it to hit the streamer. So as soon as they type, or it's the bot is actually generating that content, which is even easier because it's remote, it's not happening live at in the chat, to block it right away. I mean, having like a bot prevention mode would be fantastic, by the way. So I remember in the early days of multiplaying games online, we used to own a platform called CAL, CAL, which was the Cyber Athlete Amateur League, and cheating at the time was incredible because they were online, and we created the first anti-cheat software ever, and prevented that 100% of the time. So all that you get now in anti-cheat software, it came from us. We created the first ones. And so anyway, so it's the same exact thing for this.
Okay.
It's going to be an anti-bot software. So
Yeah. Nice. That's great to hear.
Yeah. So yeah, we don't want that on our platform, but we're not going to hold it against the streamer. Oh, you're not going to get now your money and all that because you had like fake that's
exactly.
not your fault.
And I noticed that that's usually the people, somebody gets feels hurt or some way or another, and the way they punish the streamer is by they go create an account or these bot accounts, and then they send them out to it, and then it messes with their livelihood. And I've noticed that's usually the one way they try to get it. Indeed.
It's weaponized. Yeah. I've seen
very
that
much
too.
so.
I've seen it very much weaponized.
Yeah.
And it ruins the livelihood of someone. By the way, running a bot like that, Inc., it's not inexpensive. So people are paying to send those bots.
Indeed.
And it's not, so it's silly to me, right? By the way,
Yeah.
it's very silly to me.
It is.
I mean, I can't imagine. You have to be a really new streamer to think, oh, let me go ahead and see what the artwork is like on Discord. I mean, who falls for that? It's almost gotten to the point of like some guy just died in whatever country and left you $100 million inheritance.
Yeah.
All you have to do is contact me here. I don't think so.
Or the latest one, I think that the latest one is the DMV text messages. You got a DMV thing, and try to get you to click on links. But
I've gotten some of those.
Yeah. Be careful with that. Be careful.
Well, I don't have to be careful. They get eliminated right away.
Me the same. I love those.
The moment that DMV here in Texas is using text messages to let you know, that would be a major breakthrough, by the way. So Snippin, I have to go in a few minutes, but if you have any other questions in chat,
We had one final question if nobody else has anything. Kind of an
okay.
ending question. What are your goals for Beam? What is your like
Mhm.
1 year down the road, 5 year, potentially 10 year? What's your goals?
So I told you one of them, which is to have 1 million people on the platform. That's a major break
Yes.
point because that puts us in the top 12 in the world as far as raw traffic. So that's one of the goals that we're wanting to achieve. The other goal is to finish Beam. So although we get a lot of compliments for the community as how fast we're moving and how fast we're implementing new things, we want to finish it. We want Beam to be, a platform with no beta aspects to it, just completely robust. So that's one of the things, and that's going to take us some time because as I said in the beginning, we're a small team. The next thing is to build the monetization across different aspects. So the t-shirt that I'm wearing right now, which I love to wear because I am defiant in the way that I live, but also is a line of computers that me and one of my friends, Kat Silberstein, she's the CEO of Bits Power, which is one of the sponsors for Beam. We created a line of computers that were super high end and priced at cost, and no one's ever done that before. So we started in, I think, please don't quote me on this, but I think it was 2017. And every single time that we launch one, they sell right away. They sell out. So they're limited editions and all that. In fact, on the last run that we did, we only did 15 of them. And so many people have been contacting and they missed it and all that we may do 3 more. I have to talk to Theater about it and see if we can do that as far as the programming is concerned. And so that's another form of monetization. That's actually part of Beam now. So we put Define into Beam because one of the things that we're working on, Snippin, is a very well, and this is with Alexander PC, so I have to give them credit, a streaming PC. The ideal streaming PC for Beam. So in other words, you will never have to worry again. Do you have the power? Do you have this? You can play any game.
Even easier.
Yeah, and it's so we want it to be very cost effective. TJ, who is I mentioned before, is the president of Alexander PCs, is completely on board on this. We had a conversation just was it yesterday, the day before, and we just can't wait to bring. There's another Defiant that we're working on that's going to be more expensive, but I'm going to use profanity. Badass.
I love that.
It is a beautiful PC. So I get to do great things because I get to help in the specing process and specing the PC, and then they send samples and we get to work on it and what is the colors and all that. So I'm an artist, Ink. I think I told you that. So it appeals to my artistic side. In fact, I used to own a art gallery in Dallas, and so I was surrounded by artists for several years until I sold the gallery. And a friend of mine, told me, he goes, well, that's evidence that you're now a little bit above the middle class. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Angel, only people with money have art galleries, because
Right,
every single one of them is lost is sold at a loss. And I was happy to disappoint him because we sold ours at a profit.
This is why you're here. This is why you're here.
So anyway, but the thing about it is that I think that the moves for Beam right now have to do with making sure that we create an economy that people can all of us can profit and make money from.
Indeed.
And that's the goal. That's really is the goal. We did it with esports. So think about it. There was a time where people played games exclusively for the entertainment purpose. And then I came around with the idea of electronic sports and moved it just a little bit, not a lot, that some people wanted to compete at such level and practice and all that they can earn a living from it. And now, the rest is history.
Right.
I want to do the same thing for live streaming, where people
Love
can
that.
rely on it and feel that they can use their entire capacities as of a human being, like you with your art, to be part of a community and then see your work listed and see it out there. It's just such a rewarding thing.
Indeed.
So that really is my next goal, Snippin, is to make sure that we all, the saying that the rising tide lifts all ships. That's
Mhm.
and that's why we don't see Kick or, I obviously I made a little comment about that, but it's not really, it's a true thing. They are
Yeah.
owned by it. It wasn't like, I'm not
Yeah.
making fun of them.
No.
I think that the community of live streaming is healthier and is better if all the main platforms are successful.
Yeah.
I don't like when I hear shots, on this direction. And by the way, a lot of people taking shots at Twitch, they have 3 things they're requesting for on multi-streaming. I don't see it as such a big deal. We don't violate them on our end. So I don't, people are like, oh my God, blah, blah, blah. I don't really see it as such a big deal. Don't promote another platform and use links and tell people to go somewhere else on Twitch. Absolutely reasonable. Don't lower
Right.
the bit rate below. They're the lowest bit rate anyway. Who's worried about them? It's 5 to 6,000 depending who you're at. And
Yeah.
and don't promote the chats on other platforms. Don't put them on Twitch. We don't do that. We put Twitches on ours.
Your own.
So we're not violating that. So I was perfectly happy with their policies. So anyway,
Yeah.
I just think that it's better for multi-streamers if all platforms are successful. And there's
Indeed.
plenty
Agree.
of business for everyone. No one's stealing from anyone.
That's
So,
it. Everybody can win.
yeah, everybody
does
can
win.
Yeah. So
Personally, I want to say thank you for taking the time, being here and owning that many companies and running that many companies, still handling life, family, this, that, and the third, and taking the time, a whole hour and a half plus, being here with us, answering our questions, very deep questions. It's truly amazing and an honor, sir. Thank you so much. And I'm very excited to continue to get to know you and see the growth of that you have loyal fans and customers and friends here from all 3 of us, and whatever is that we can do to assist in the growth, know that you have us behind you.
Thank you, Ink.
Yeah, definitely.
I feel privileged to have, you guys as part of my living experience. And I want to. Oh, there's the dog. So now we have all the animals represented.
Y'all showing your cats.
So anyway, Ink, but as not just so that this became really important to me when my wife of 37 years passed away 3 years ago from cancer, and then I really realized that loneliness could be an issue. And because you go through, I mean, I don't wish on my worst enemy what I went through. Because I took care of my wife until she passed, so they told me, you need to get hospice services, and I had hospice train me to how to take care of my wife. And but that said, it was a miraculous process. It made me a much better person, Ink. And now this moment would have not happened if it wasn't for that experience, because it made me go, we need to break these, divisions of solitude. We need to all feel that we're part of something bigger. We need to feel like cells on a membrane. We need to all feel like we're part of something that's growing, that is motivated by the right things, and it's not just about money. It's about community, and it's about human contact. And then, of course, as Mama said, anime, money is a necessary thing in society. But it's fun coupons. It's just don't make it such a big deal.
Isk in the chat says, awesome podcast, guys. You're doing it big. Doing my first ever stream on Beam because of y'all. Y'all sold me.
Yeah,
thank you. That's great. What a great way to end.
Same here.
Thank you. And anime, you behaved, so I am so happy.
How, Dave?
I love teasing Element. It's obvious, right?
We all do.
When she's not on stream is when she's working is when I get to say a couple of things, and then Stephen calls her and you go, Angel just said.
I'm always listening. I'm always in the chat.
I know you are. I know
Creeping.
you are.
Got ears and eyes
Anyway,
everywhere.
I love you guys. Thank you so much for believing
Thank
in the
you.
Beam dream, and I hope that we are able to show the world that this can be done the right way. So
Sure
that's
are.
my dream.
Heck
So
yeah. We'll share
alrighty, I'm
that.
gonna hang up. You guys can keep on chatting, and
Sounds good.
and it won't interrupt the call because
All righty.
this is
Oh.
my
Have a good
platform.
one.
I know how
Thank
it
you
works.
again. Appreciate you.
Have a great
Bye,
day.
bye, Snippin. Bye, Anime.
Bye.
Bye. Ink.
Bye.
Bye. Yes, we are streaming
Alright.
on Beam right now, Elena baby. That was a wonderful interview.
Boom, boom,
Cracked
boom,
Out
boom,
Sniper said they're also gonna do their first stream on Beam.
Yeah,
Yes,
Disc
crack
Link
that
is about to do
lead.
theirs.
Yes. Like I believe my pinned chat on Kick right now is a Beam stream.
Yeah, let me put that on there too.
Beam
That's a good
stream
idea.
is if you
let me
guys
see.
missed out on some of it, long story short, it's a vital tool for streamers, right? I stream my OBS to Beam. I
Mhm.
then use my Beam to stream. It multi-streams for me, right? I take my stream keys from Twitch, from Kick, from TikTok, whatever stream keys I have, I plug it into Beam. And then Beam restreams for me, takes all the stress off my PC. And what I'd say is one of the best things of Beam is the unit chat. Now you can restream up to 75 different platforms with Beam. There's not as
Yep.
many that have the unit chat, but a lot of the big platforms have the unit chat. The Twitch, the Kick, Beam, YouTube, Noise, Nemo, Twitter,
Mhm.
TikTok. Those all have. Can you mute Nicole?
Yeah.
I think those are the big main chats that are DLive, Trovo, Rumble. Those are all unit chat. So all you have to do is look at your Beam chat and you see all those chats coming through it. Multi-streaming was never made easier. And to be honest, $3.95 a month is nothing. And yes, you paying to stream, right? You're paying to stream
No.
on the site, but it's to restream, you know what I mean? And it's so much cheaper than anybody else. And if you want to use the sponsor and have them pre-roll an ad, you can do that.
You don't have to pay nothing.
But that was exciting. I'm very excited for Embers taking place. It sounds like it's
Yes.
going to be good.
Yep. I like the fact that you can give embers, you can receive embers, you can give away games, you can get games.
Right. So once
Yeah,
everything
it's
gets
definitely-
set up, streamers can gift to their chat can gift to the streamers. You got a good healthy relationship, and it'll make giveaways one of the easier things to do. You know what I mean? So
Yep.
they have big things coming, and I think you just have to stick around. But if you're streaming and if you're multi-streaming, I think it's very silly if you do not use Beam.
that in itself, as a tool by itself, the UniChat it is a must-have for a multi-stream.
Right.
And it's so easy to set up. It's so easy to have all these platforms wrapped into one for you.
Some people think, oh, you can have multi-chat with is it Streamlabs or Stream Elements, but like it's not as many platforms. I can tell you it's not as silky smooth, and this is just in the chat, right? Like it's not on your screen or anything. It's super nice, super easy.
Yeah. I personally use Streamlabs. I've paid for Streamlabs while also having the app Beam, and I had similar issues. And one of them I'm paying $200 for. The other one I'm not. That was the big difference,
Right.
But as far as the
Very, very
functionalities, yeah,
But yes, I'm ready for the merch store. I like how we're gonna be able to use these embers to buy things on the website. Merch store is potentially games, so it's in-game currency that will also be able to come out, kind of like a bit situation. You know what I mean? So I think it's good.
Yeah, indeed.
think-
The fact that we be able to make our own merch store within their merch store is even cooler, right?
Yes.
That's going to be a big W, because now you're using the same brands as the company itself, so you know it's going to be good material.
Like let's talk. I know a lot of us here, at least in this chat, and some of the viewers here on Kick. We know Teckle, right? We know Teckle,
Yep.
big
Yep.
3D printer, makes a
Mm-hmm.
lot of cool shit. Okay, loves doing it. And if
Yep.
this is something like you can put in a shop, okay, you make one of one. Let's say you make a unique victory royale crown, okay, but you
Mm-hmm.
can go on there and sell one of one. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like an Etsy type of situation.
Mm-hmm. Bid auction type stuff. Yep.
Yeah.
Indeed.
So like you may not have a copious amount of stock, but you can display that and
Right.
have somewhere. So I think
One
Beam's
day.
going to the moon. I said it from the beginning. I think not only as a streamer standpoint, right now as a streamer, like this is where you need to be if you're multi-streaming. It becomes even more so that way when they do finally get the go to do the Microsoft app, to do the Xbox and the console app. Like it will allow so many individuals to join the streaming game because they don't have to have a PC. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So I
Yep.
think that'll be a big morale booster among console
Yep.
gamers and console streamers. And I think eventually, while we're not quite there yet, I think Embers would do a big push for it. This is also going to be where the viewer wants to be because Embers will help that, the marketplace will help that. But let's be honest, as of late, multi streaming has been the wave in the streaming space right now. It is very highly
Yeah.
talked about. It's the wave, and
No,
you know what I mean.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. I think
So
And,
with that
as a viewer,
multi-streaming, you get
go
that
ahead.
unit chat with every chat. You won't miss what's going on. If you're watching on Twitch, you miss what's happening on Kick, and vice versa, right? You watching on Beam, you get to see all the chats that's going through.
yeah.
Yeah, and as a viewer, it's nice to keep in that loop. It's nice to be able to see everything and not,
Exactly.
miss out on pieces of the
You know
conversation.
what's
Right.
happening
Because
on
sometimes
my
you'd be like, "Who's she
TikTok.
talking to?"
But
Yeah.
you know what's happening on my TikTok when you're, in Beam. But if you're just on Kick, you don't get to see the questions I'm asking and answering over on the TikTok side.
Indeed. Indeed.
And if you're on
Yeah.
Beam, you get that question out there, and I can still see it and ask and answer.
Here's the other aspect that I don't think people are really, I don't want to say grasp, but maybe enjoying, is the fact that Beam is doing something that is merging other people than just gamers, right? Streamers, there's such
Yes.
a variety of streamers. And for a person like myself who enjoys just chatting, who enjoys doing podcasts, who enjoys doing other than playing video games and interacting with the chat, it allows me now to put my content out to all these places at once, right? And now I don't have to worry about the chat and all that stuff, but it makes that easier, so I can go to one place and record my podcast and send it out. I mean, if you're looking at it in a business point, you can utilize Beam as an advertisement account for all your merchandise, your products, your business, your website, whatever it is. You can come by and talk about it.
It really is, like Angel was saying, the hub. It is your
Mm-hmm.
hub. It's the place where you go to get everything, right? Because Beam is insane. Like Beam is all for everyone, multi-streaming and doing that, right? Like you have all of your links on your Beam page, right? You can list as many as you want. You have your little bio. It's your hub. They want to check you out on Kick. Go to my profile. Click on my Kick.
Mm-hmm.
They're not picky, right? So it really
Yeah.
is a hub. It's like Beam is like a link tree. It really is. Like if you want to follow me on Beam, you can see me everywhere else I am. You can watch the stream here. You can do whatever you want.
Mm-hmm. You were gonna say something, wifey?
Yeah, as a streamer, it lets you do it in vertical and horizontal. So if you just want to go to the vertical places, you can. If you just want to go to the horizontal, hell, if you want to go to both like we do, you can. It just makes it so seamless and so easy.
Right.
Yeah.
So through Beam, I do my Kick stream and everything, right, wifey. But then it also sends out my vertical for my TikTok and my YouTube Shorts.
So you can multi-stream and still get your payment out on all your platforms without messing it up. you know, in those senses. So that is another great aspect of it. I do enjoy how quickly it is to contact an actual human being if you're having issues with
A
the
human
platform.
beam.
Beam.
Candy says Beam isn't trying to lock you into one place. They're helping you be everywhere efficiently, and that is exactly it.
Yes. For
Um,
$3, they're not even asking you for that
and
much, is it?
something we didn't necessarily touch on as much. So monetization right now on Beam is only subscription based, right? Well, they're coming with the Embers and they're coming with the marketplace and they're coming with the stores. But as of right now, there is when you start on Beam, you're eligible for monetization at a 70-30 split. Okay. And then you can work your way up to an 80-20 split and a 90-10 split. For me, I'm at the 90-10 split, which is a partnership because I believe the requirement was to hit 100 hours of streaming. So I do that every month. I'm hitting that partnership. I have a 90-10 split. And besides Kick, which is a 95-5 split, I don't think there's a better split in the game.
Yep.
Um,
Right now there
and
isn't.
there,
Not
I
to that
don't
many
believe
levels.
there is. No. So, which again, only subscriptions right now. It's not going to be a huge monetization thing right now, but like they have it. We're building on it. We're getting embers, and it will become something to look out for. And they use Wise to pay out their streamers.
Oh, really?
Yes, do you know of this Ink?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I had to make an account.
Okay, I have
But
whatever.
I
However
think
you
it's
say it.
Wise, right?
Some shit like that.
But yes, that is how
It's Wise.
they pay out the streamers, and I believe it's a $15 threshold to get a payment.
Yeah.
But
True Shadow, welcome in, fam. No,
yeah,
I really that was that was really good. How do you feeling about the just talking streams, Snippin?
I don't mind it, and I do enjoy it. I
Ain't
think
nobody trying to talk to you for hours at a time. E.
Hours,
no,
baby.
I'm down to do something like this and just
Interviews?
chatting and do I didn't want to say anything. I didn't want to embarrass Angel. I see you blinking though, Angel.
Angel.
But my TikTok was not working for this stream.
Me either. Not gonna say.
um,
No, I think I'm not.
But did you toggle it off before you
No.
got back on?
No, I
yeah.
didn't. No, I didn't.
Oh,
That was my.
no.
That's why I didn't
Um,
say that. That's why I
but
didn't say it.
I do, Kick, I do have good interaction. We had good interactions and questions coming from Kick today. I do get a lot of questions on TikTok as well in that interaction. They might only be there for 2 minutes, but they're interacting. So if we do a just chatting stream and we have like a question and, I feel like if we can keep it going, like, and not do lows, right? Like, because we can
Yeah.
have this fun banter that we always have, that we're always doing like this while we're playing the game. You know what I mean? So
Mm.
I want. It's nice when we're talking about something and we have like a goal. There's a topic at hand. Like if
Yeah.
we have a question of the day and we post that as like your hook on TikTok and you get people in talking about that. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And because especially since TikTok is a couple minute platform, I've been having good success over there. It would be a lot of repeating, right? Because
Yeah.
the people who came in on TikTok, we introduced Angel, who he is,
Hey, this link is in
and the
there.
CEO or whatever of Beam.
Yeah.
But then you got people coming in 30 minutes into the stream, and you're like, oh, what's Beam, right? Like, so for TikTok, you're gonna have to, you back it up, and you're gonna have to keep explaining and stuff. What up, Nate? But
Yeah, got you,
I'm
cuz.
very excited for the future, Beam. Sure. Sounds like I need to do
Hell
some more
yeah.
research and learn how to go about getting set up on Beam, Tandy. You definitely do.
Feel free
Definitely
to
do.
join the Discord and ask any questions that you have. I've helped these two knuckleheads get set up, so
Yeah. For a low price,
Can we talk
50% off
about
now.
how crispy the video call is, though?
I mean, for a simple click away to join in and not have to worry about much, this platform is LiveMax. What is it called? LiveMax?
This is Beacon Max, and
Beacon
I
Max.
will 100% be buying it.
Yes.
It is a service you pay for. Imagine Zoom, but better, in my opinion. Easier to use. for our family Christmases. You know, we're in New York, we're in Georgia, we're in Illinois, we're in Florida. This is the perfect way to do family events. And look how nice all of our photos are. You know, this link is making the account on Beam and dropping
He's
the
already
follow,
is.
baby.
He already is, baby. Let's get
Yay!
it. He's streaming right now. I dropped him some love. That's what I'm talking about. Artisans in the house. Yeah, baby. We gonna well
But
no, I mean the reason why I asked that is for that, if we plan it out to if to see if you're open for a variety. But yeah, planning out of having maybe community engagements, other streamers like, Tackle, French Fry, Anime Freak, and talk about games or talk about setting up and having different combos like that.
what you drinking on over there, girl?
Right? That joint, she like
People
sucking out the
People
dang
be
color
like,
of the
"Ooh,
parking,
let me
bro.
get a nice cold brewski after work." You know what I'm doing? I'm getting a nice
Capri
cold
Sun.
Capri Sun, baby.
Capri
Don't hate on my Capri Sun.
Shit. But all right, y'all. Let me get out of here. Let me go handle some things. But
Yeah, we
good
about to
chat.
end the stream as well. We're about to. I think I'm going to chillax the rest of the day. We'll be
Samesies.
back
Get some
live
grub.
tomorrow.
Mm.
We'll
Tanny
be-
said made their account
lot.
today so that they could
Hell
support.
yeah. There you go.
Hey, that's what I like
Much
to
love,
hear.
There we
Luna.
go.
Lizzie. Love you.
People do think it's a little. I think the biggest thing when I'm telling people about Beam, the biggest hesitant, and I don't necessarily understand why, is the $3.95 mark. So if I'm making a streamer account, I have to enter my credit card information for that $3.95, right? But they fail to realize if you pick that sponsorship, right?
Mm.
Then they roll a 15-second ad only on Beam, pre-roll ad, and one 15-second ad every hour after that, just on Beam. Then you don't even have to pay the $3.95, right? But really, the thing is, like, yes, you're paying to stream on Beam, but it's because of the multi-streaming, like, it's nothing, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you're streaming on Beam, there's not a streamer who streams just to Beam. Well, I shouldn't say
Yeah.
I don't know that, but like if you're streaming on Beam, you're streaming other places. You know what I mean? Like you're not
Mhm.
limiting yourself. So like you are putting that $3.95 to good use, but
Yep. That's just one gifted sub.
it could also be free if you choose a sponsorship. Has the Beam platform itself brought you new people, or is it strictly just a hub for all other platforms? So I actually have met a few people on Beam,
Yes.
but not a lot. But I have met people on itself on Beam who I've then followed on other platforms. But
I've met
I
more
think as it
professionals
continues to
there.
grow,
Yeah,
as it
I
continues
met
to
more
grow,
professionals there than more just supporting streamers. Not to put down any support at all by any means, but there I've met, like you just saw. I mean, how many people are out here actually interviewing the CEOs of any other
Mhm.
platform, right? So the connections that have made in Beam are way more professional
Thank you.
than any other platform. I can tell you that.
Yes. But yes, you can get a following on Beam. I have met. It is its own streaming site, right? It is its own
Yes.
platform. Is it still in its infancy? Sure. Like we're like a year in, right? You know. Well, by a year being out of beta almost next month, I think. So we're continuing to get more people and more viewers, and as the embers and everything keep coming out, it'll be more of a hub for viewers. But it is very, very, very nice as a streamer to be using it. Like you could like just being able to stream. You know, I do Beam, Kick, YouTube, Twitch, Nemo, and TikTok through Beam every day. So it's very nice.
Yeah. I don't stream without Beam.
Right.
Yeah.
Even if
Yeah, like if you're on Beam, like it would be silly not to stream elsewhere
Right.
as
Yeah.
well.
even
Like
when
it gives you the opportunity to.
Sometimes when I do shorter streams, I just want to stream to Kick for that KPP, right?
Mhm.
Sometimes. So like you can toggle off to Beam stream. I can toggle off everything and just stream to Kick. So I'm using Beam servers and everything, but all I'm doing is streaming to Kick. you don't even have to technically stream to Beam if you don't want to use the multi-streaming feature.
Yep.
Tandy
You don't have
did
to.
say she's gonna join in the Discord and shoot us some questions, wifey.
All right.
Yeah,
you don't have to be live on Beam to be live anywhere else.
Right.
That is not a
Which is
requirement.
very nice.
Yes.
Thank you for all the information. This is one of the best panels I've ever seen on here. Well, thank you. I appreciate
Hey,
that.
let's go.
I would like to potentially well, when I say me, it's wifey. We did ask some good questions, and I think we can cut this video. We can go through the VOD and cut some of it, and we can post it on socials on what is Beam. And he answered what is Beam, for, like, just to get some clips out there and to continue to spread the word, because a lot of people still, I preach Beam, but a lot of people they haven't heard of it yet. You know what I mean? They hear about it and they want to come on with the come on.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely make a TikTok on this. Okay, we can definitely do that.
Yeah. There. You know what?
And definitely
that's
cut some
another-
clips and
I was
post
gonna say
certain
yeah.
questions and stuff.
Certain questions and create some clips on,
If only we had noise. Okay, let me not.
Because some of those beginning questions that we asked at the beginning of the stream. What is Beam?
Yeah.
What does it do? Right? It's all about right now being the hub and being multi-streaming, and it's affordable. It's cheap. So many places you can stream to, and there's Unichat. So it really is like the streamer's best friend. It's a very best friend tool. You know what I mean? Not to mention, I know it's gonna go to the moon in all other aspects, but even just in its infancy, like how useful it is to streamer yourself. Like,
Yeah, I think the marketplace will be a huge hit when it comes out. The fact that you can sell your old computer parts and buy computer parts and all kinds of stuff. It's just a way to get the community more involved with each other.
Right.
And I think that'll be
like I have a Switch Lite now. Instead of putting it on the marketplace, I could put it on the Beam marketplace. Not necessarily like it's not necessarily PC parts, but all things gaming, all things technology.
Yeah.
I think it'll be good.
I'm excited.
I'm
excited.
Excited,
Like
baby, yes.
we jazzed up. Boom, boom,
We
boom, boom.
jazzed up. I do love Beam.
Yeah.
I'm ready to get the hat that Angel had, because, like he was saying, I don't know what the thing is called, but I like the thing in the hat. Like, because I don't the ones that form to my noggin. Listen, I got a big head, alright.
But listen, the one cool thing about that one is you'll be able to auction it in the new merch store, and then when we hit that 1 million, be like, look, you can't get this no more. You know what I mean?
One snipping hammer sweat,
Exactly.
baby.
Get your DNA.
But yes.
Hell yeah.
But I'll continue preaching it. Anyone who I see multi-streaming, and I think I really do. I know Angel mentioned that he might try to talk to Eddie, CEO Eddie of Kick is, and I know this doesn't affect everyone, but myself being a part of KPP, and when you have the multi-stream toggled on, you only make 50% of what you could be making. Obviously, when I have it off, I can still stream vertically to YouTube Shorts and TikTok. I would like to get Beam included in being able to multi-stream with. Angel said he might try to talk to Eddie, see if we can do that. Because Beam isn't trying to hurt anybody, right? It's trying to be there to help and support, and it's that tool. You know what I mean?
It's not taking anybody's money from anyone.
If you're doing if Beam's doing anything, it's telling more people to multi-stream, right? It's helping Kick, Oh, you stream on Twitch, Beam, come on over to Kick, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
So I'm hoping that that's a thing that we can get, and maybe still have KPP on and stream to Beam at the same time, so I can stream all day to Beam.
All day, baby.
I'm hoping that's what it comes to.
Yeah. All right, fam. I'm out of here.
Yep, we out.
Good chat.
Love you.
Love you.
Deuces.
Great interview.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. We are also going to end on the green side. Let me give it a ugly mug here. Hold on.
I don't know what I'm doing.
So we'll go to the ending soon screen. I appreciate all the love, all the questions. Again, if anyone is interested in learning about Beam, we can rewatch the VOD. You can ask us questions in the Discord, anything like that. We'd be more than happy to answer. We will be back live tomorrow about 11 a.m. about. So thank you, much love, and bye.